WALN, the Party Channel. My name is Ned Richards, along with the Brooklyn, Mr. Brooklyn, we call him, and that is Uncle Veto.
Yeah.
And on the phone with me right now, ladies and gentlemen, a true icon in the doo-wop industry, hailed from the Bronx up there in New York. I'm very humbled and I'm very honored to bring on this gentleman here who backed up Dion and of course, had their own songs as well. I am talking about Mr. Carlo Mastrangelo from the Belmonts. How are you, Carlo?
Fine, Ned. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm not doing too bad. I'm not doing too bad, and I hope you are doing fine. How about if we go back to your very, very early days when you said to yourself, Carlo, I'm going to be a rock and roll singer. Hello, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I asked you when we go way, way back to when you first started in the music industry, what did you think of back then, and about how old were you when you said, I'm going to be a singer?
I was a drummer since I was 3 years old.
Oh, okay.
Jazz drummer.
And then when did you get into singing?
Pretty freaky. It was like a great accident that happened.
What happened then?
Come on. From going from jazz drums to singing doo-wop music, and we got a hit record on top of it, and another hit record, another hit record. It was like incredible, Ned.
What?
That wasn't my thing. You know what I mean?
Well, that's okay, and we're kind of glad that maybe it wasn't your thing back then. We sure gave us a lot of good music in the past few years.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
When did you get...
it just kept happening, and before you know it, we were a doo-wop group.
What, when you were a drummer, who did you actually drum for any of, the significant big bands or anything, or did you just start off that way?
I just played around the Bronx, all the local clubs, and that's what I did until Dion and the Belmont started. Then I packed my drums up. I didn't see them for about 5 years because I was a singer, became a singer, a background singer. Then I was the lead singer with the Belmonts from Tell Me Why, Go On Little Angel.
Wow.
And it was really strange because I said, what am I doing here? Where's my jazz music? All those jazz guys. I had the jazz records and jazz and radio all the time, jazz. All of a sudden, I'm a doo-wop, hitting records. It's like a different world.
When did you start? When did you start actually going into doo-wop? Did you guys actually, I'm sure you actually sang on the street corners.
Yeah, well, Dion had a record contract. This guy heard him sing, and he backed him up to make a record. He put out a record called The Chosen Few. And but the group that was with him, Ned, was like a pop group. They weren't a doo-wop group. Dion wanted guys to sing do-do-do-do, really doo-wop backup group. And he heard me sing in the pool room. He was in the pool room too. So he heard me singing while I was playing pool. So he came around the neighborhood next day, and he's asking everybody, if they know Carlo. You see Carl, tell him I'd like to talk to him. So I met him the next day, and he said, Carl, I need a group. Would you be interested? I said, singing on the record? He said, yep, sure, I would, of course. You know anybody? I said, yeah, I know guys on the Imperial Hoods. That was our gang. We were in the gang days.
Yeah.
And I said, I got a tenor and a second tenor. That'd be fantastic. So I got a hold of Freddie and Angelo. And the Belmonts became Belmonts.
How did the name start?
Up and said, what are we going to call ourselves? We looked up in the street corner.
Sign.
Sign said Belmont Avenue.
Belmont Avenue.
Belmont Avenue,
Oh,
wow.
Belmont, this has a nice ring to it, Dion and the Belmont.
There you go.
How was Dion to work with?
My drums away, and that was it. Oh, as far as playing drums, I played all the local clubs. And then, I don't know if you knew this or not, I played on that show where the accident was with the plane crash.
Okay.
Buddy Holly?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened was on the tour,
That's right.
before it started, the night that it happened, Buddy Holly's drummer, it was so cold on the bus, the drummer got frostbite. They had to take him to a hospital, and there was no drummers around. So then Dion says, Carlo, you could do it. I said, sure, I could do it. So then Dion went over to Buddy Holly and said, tell him about Carlo. He can play drums for you. He said, okay. And then Buddy Holly said, I'll play for you guys. Because our songs were easy to play. Teenager in Love, it was easy, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Buddy Holly could do that because he played a little drums. So I played with Buddy Holly that whole night. I was so proud, you know.
Wow.
And not only that, I play with him. He says, Carlo, anytime you want a job, call me, collect, and you got a job.
Back in the day.
I'll pay you double what you make with Dion, you know? I was really proud to hear that. That made me feel so good, you know?
Wow. How old were you at that time?
We were in the early 20s, 21, 22 years old.
What year did you first come out with your very first record?
I wonder why. The first Dion Belmont song?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I
Wow.
was 19, let's see, 56 or 7. And
Wow.
I don't remember exactly, but it was either 1956 or 1957.
When you were playing drums, or when you were a young man yet, and still wanting to get into music, was there any particular person that inspired you to be a part or become into the music industry?
Well, it has to be my brother. Because when I was a little kid, 2 and 3 years old, my brother played drums. And I loved it. He played like a wedding band, you know, like on
Right.
the fairs every weekend.
Right.
That was it, and I loved it that he played the drums, and I would sit on them every once in a while. And I just had a natural feel for drums. Well, I never studied one note. I just played. And my brother wanted to teach me how to read music, and I really didn't want to be bothered learning all those notes. It was like math to me. I hated math. And I just started playing fast. My head, my wrists were there. But I was like amazed, you know, how it happened.
Wow.
That has to be my brother. He was the one. If it wasn't for him, I probably never would have played. Maybe, I don't know.
And then you just up and started singing then at that point.
No, I just played drums until I was like 19 years old. And no, I wasn't 19. It was like, I was in high school, so it must have been like about 15. Yeah, 15. And what got me interested in singing, but this guy that sat in London, his name was, he sat next to me, and every day he's singing, and these foreign songs he was singing. He was singing all, at that time it was rhythm and blues. You know, like all the groups, the Moon Glows and
Right. Right.
all those, all the groups, doo-wop groups, but they were called rhythm and blues first.
Okay.
Singing and singing and singing. Then one day I said, Lenny, what are these songs you sing? What is that? It's called rhythm and blues. He said, you want to come with me today? Come down to the pool room. I'll show you what's in our jukebox. And I went to the jukebox with him, and I looked at all the groups, the Crows and Valentine's, everyone, on and on and on. And I got listening to that. So what made me write a song that I'll never know in a million years? Because if I didn't write this particular song, called We Went Away, there would have never been a Dion and the Belmonts.
Wow.
That's what Dion heard me singing in the pool room. A song called We Went Away that I wrote. And he said, you are, Carlo. They told me that he sings doo-wop, and he's wrote a doo-wop song. So that's why Dion approached me and asked me to start a group. So, and that was it.
How was Dion to work with in the early days?
tell you the truth, he was a bit different than me and Freddie as far as hanging out. Freddie and I was like two kids. We played pool. We played over 1,000 games in one tour of pool. And we hit town. We run to the pool room, and me and Freddie. Dion Angelo was in the Navy, so it was really me, Dion, and Freddie. So Dion would go to the room and hang out with the guys in the show, maybe write a song. Me and Freddie would be out having fun. We were like the fun guys. Run to the pool room, go to the bowling alley, you know.
And then go sing.
Dion was more or less subdued. I don't know the word for it. He wasn't like us as far as having fun. He wasn't into that. He would sit in the room and write a song for hours, and me and Freddie would be outside having fun. So that's about it. You know?
Dion doesn't live that far from you down there, correct?
No, he's only about 15 minutes from me. He's near Military Trail. I forget the name of the place he's living in. I was only there once or twice. Twice, yeah.
Do you guys still talk together yet?
Once in a while. Once in a while I give him, he'll give me a call or I'll give him a call.
Wow.
Sometimes a couple of years go by and then we decide to call each other.
When you became the Belmonts, was this was prior to Dion, correct?
No.
It was after Dion.
Yeah, well, the first thing I told you, the song I wrote was Dion and the Belmonts. That was the song that made us. Because that's what Dion heard that he liked and that he wanted. So he heard me singing my song that I wrote in the pool room, and that's why he came around and said, would you like to start a group? I said, sure. That was our first record. Then after that, Gene wanted to try something, the boss. He said, let Dion sing one song by himself, and the Belmonts sing one song by themselves, and let's see what happens. So we put out a record called Teenage Clementine.
Ah, yes.
With Freddie singing lead, because we really didn't have a lead singer, me, Freddie, and Angelo. We were just background guys. I was a bass, Freddie's the second tenor, and Angelo was the first tenor. So Freddie sang lead on that, and it was like, okay, it was all right. But it wasn't a hit. And we put out one record with Dion, the one I wrote, and that wasn't a hit. So then we got I Wonder Why, and that was a hit, and bingo.
When did you become more or less a lead singer?
When Dion left, this is really the truth now, and when Dion left, we didn't have a lead singer. I told you before, me, Freddie, and Angelo, Freddie wasn't really a lead singer either. They were great background guys, and I was like a bass, not really a bass, but I was a scat man, jazz man, and I knew figures. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I wonder why did, you know that, right?
Right.
That's a scatting jazz thing I put in there. And Dion knew that I did that, so he said, Carlo, do something that, that he didn't even know the name of it. That sound you make, try that. We'll put that, see how that works out on I Wonder Why. Because at first, I Wonder Why came out like this. Well, I don't know why, like that. And Dion said, well, that's what you do. That's what the guy does on the record. He found it. So I said, I don't want to do that. It just didn't sound right. Well, I don't. It sounded like it's off the boat. So, wow. So he says, all right, try to make up something those sounds you make. Then I put din. I did that, and everybody liked it. Bingo, hit record.
Wow, that's amazing how
a couple ding,
just by a couple of ding-dings, and off you go, and it becomes a hit record.
The feature of the whole song.
That really was, yes, it was the feature of that whole song.
Everybody, we were going out doing shows, guy would come over. Carl, how do you do that? How many how many this there? How many? They all wanted to do that part, but they couldn't do it. So I slowed it down for a lot of the guys that asked me. I did real sections.
Wow.
It was amazing. That was really amazing. You see, that's why I say it was weird to me, because I was doing a jazz thing, but it fit into doo-wop. And then it fit right in there.
Wow.
I remember when you were with Dick Clark and Flavorific, the Beach Nut Gum sponsored the show, and you and Dion, all four of you came out at the time, and that's when I first heard that din 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 din, and you were in a balcony of all the kids around you. You probably don't remember that, but I do.
Dick Clark.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he's a bandstand.
Yep. Well, and then he had
The night show, right?
yeah, and he also had
Remember?
I don't know, it was sponsored by Beach Nut Gum, but I see you guys on there too as well.
Yeah, we did that. Every time we put out a record, we did the Dick Clark show.
Yeah. Yep.
Once you did the Dick Clark show, bingo, man, the whole country heard you.
Yep.
That was the greatest thing. He made more groups than anybody in the world, his show.
Wow. And he was a pretty good guy to work for or work with?
Yeah. Dick Clark?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure. He was so nice, really a mellow person. Just how he looks. He looks like a mellow person. He is. That's how he was, man.
How was it when you heard one of your first songs on the radio? What did it feel like?
We went crazy. We ran to the windows on an apartment building. We're up 4, 5, 6 stories, and we're yelling out the records to the people. Hey, our record's on the radio! Our record's on the radio! We didn't even hear it. We were screaming so loud, we didn't even listen to the record. All we heard was the first did it. That's all. And we started screaming it.
Oh my, these stories, I'll tell you, these stories are just unbelievable. And are you still singing today yet?
Well, I'll tell you, I really sang in my house here.
That's it?
Hard rock songs. And I really ripped my throat. I might need an operation then.
Oh, okay.
We'll see what happens. I got to go to the doctor next week.
I hope it all works out for you, and you can come back and start doing that din 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 din.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another strange thing that happened. After we broke up, Dion left, I became the lead singer with the Belmonts. We all, me, Freddie, and Angelo, we all tried out for the boss of the company. Like Angelo sang one lead song, and he listened. Freddie sang one, then I sang one, and the boss came over and chose one of us, and he chose me. That's how I became the lead singer. And we had a couple of hits without Dion. You know that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Angel, and I Need Someone.
One of the other songs that I hear and I kind of like is a Ring-a-Ling.
Oh yeah, that would have been a smash. That would have been a smash record, but I couldn't tell you. Someday maybe I will. The reason why I would have had about 5 hit. Baby Doll. Did you hear that one?
Oh yeah.
That one was #1 in Florida, and they called me down to do some shows down in Florida. I left there, went back home. Baby Doll was #1. Next week was off the charts. That's really uncanny for a song to be #1. Because it don't work like that. It's #1, then it goes backwards. Because the less it sells, then it goes out 1 to #4 to #10. You know what I mean? You know that, right?
Right, I do. Yes, I do.
But my song, Baby Doll, I wrote that, went out 1 and out. And then this is another thing that I couldn't talk to you about it. Maybe some other day. When the time is right, I'll give you a call and we can talk about it. Okay?
Absolutely, I would love to talk about that. Another one of your songs that you were kind of like lead singer was "Write Me a Letter."
That was me. Yeah, I sang lead on a love song. Write Me a Letter. That was on in back of, I forget now. Was it Little Orphan Girl?
I was just going to ask you about that, and I played that in the beginning of our show here. Just Little Orphan Girl was a.
I really like that. I mean, the four best ones that I sang with Carlo, just Carlo, was Baby Doll, Ring-a-Ling, Little Orphan Girl, and the song that Ernie Maresca wrote called A Stranger in My Arms.
Ah.
Play with Ernie?
Oh yeah.
You know Ernie wrote Run Around Sue and The Wanderer, and
Yes.
he wrote this for me too. This would have been a hit too, but it's one of those songs that I can't talk to you about till another time, but we will.
Oh, I hope so. Don't forget me.
And what happened was, like, after we made Tell Me Why, Come On Angel, and I Need Some more 3-hit records, our manager at the time, Harvey, he never paid us. And Come On Angel did like 500,000 records.
Oh my God, yes.
It was in the top 20, I think, in cash-wise and Billboard. He never paid us. And I'm married with children. I can't. I need the money, man. Freddie didn't live with his parents. Angel lived with his parents, so they didn't have to worry about it. But I had to pay my rent for my kids and everything, you know.
Wow.
Well, you should have taken them down to the Hudson.
I left. So I went back to the clubs in the Bronx. Remember I told you I played in the Bronx clubs?
Right.
Drums. All I had to do was get on the phone and call one of the bosses. They knew me, and they knew I had a following. So they said, call us anytime you want. You got a job. So called them. I started working in the Bronx. Now I got my money coming in for my rent and stuff, regular pay. But I had to leave the Belmont to do that.
Oh, boy.
That's 5 nights a week, 6 nights a week.
Wow.
So what was managed?
And I called the manager, and I says, maybe I can get a contract with Laurie. Well, yeah, he asked him. He says, he came back to me. He says, not only did I get a contract, I got bonus money for you, too. I said, oh, wow, that's great. And that's when I put out Baby Doll. It was perfect, and Baby Doll, if I didn't have to do this certain thing, that would have been a smash hit. And Baby Doll was #1 in Florida, and I knew it. And one guy says, like, he made a comment about Baby Doll. He says, he sounds like Dion. I don't sound like Dion. Maybe it's the way we phrase out in New York, Bronx accents. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what he probably meant. But we don't sound like that. But anyway, that's what he said. He says, he sounds like Dion, but don't worry, it's selling. You know what I mean, Ned?
Right.
So like he was saying, like, the record's a hit. Don't worry about it if he sounds like it, which I didn't. Boy, Dan's a good singer. It's nice to say that, But we don't. We have the same phrasing of words, pronouncing words, because we're from the Bronx. We have that Bronx slang. That's what they probably meant.
What about the song called Brenda, the Great Pretender?
That's Ernie Maresca again. That would have been a hit too, right?
Oh, that's a fabulous song. I'm going to be playing these. I'm going to be playing your songs.
Didn't he also write Shout, Shout?
A whole string of songs already, man. Because I was in the groove and Dion was in the groove. We were in a certain groove. And you could just see the hit records. You know exactly what the kids wanted. It takes a while to get into that, but we did. And I had all these records, Baby Doll, Ring-a-Ling, Little Orphan Girl.
What about this song, Carlo?
Stranger in My Arms.
Marzy Dotes.
So what happened was, like, I played in the clubs, and I was getting more and more into the heavy scene. Heavy rock. Mm-hmm. Like Jimi Hendrix,
I can't see you doing that.
You can't see me doing that?
No, I can't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that's really my love. It's like a jazz rock, Ned. I've mixed jazz and hard rock together. And it came out great. It really did, man. It came out great. And I was so happy with it. And then all of a sudden I'm playing in the clubs. But now we're not playing doo-wop music with my band. we were playing hard rock music. And all of a sudden, it's so weird. This is like 10 or 15 years after the Belmonts broke up. This guy with a suit is on in the club. Everybody's got hippie clothes on. You know those days with the...
Oh, yeah.
All that. There's a guy standing there with a suit on. And we thought he was a cop. And he kept staring at us as we were playing hard rock. So then after the stage, I watched him. Anything wrong? He says, oh, no. He says, everything's right. He says, I'm here from Audio Fidelity Records. I'm the producer of the record company. And someone told me about you guys. And he said, I would like to record you. That was my dream come true, Ned.
Wow.
I said, what? And we played all the original songs. I wrote them all, Ned, you know? All the jazz rock songs. So he says, yep, come down Monday morning, we'll get started. Bingo! Oh, God, thank you. No, it's beautiful.
Wow.
So we recorded the record. This is really flippy. This flipped me altogether. About 4 years ago, I used to sell books, rare books, expensive books, on eBay. So I'm looking at my books that I got for sale, checking it out, and all of a sudden I see a stamp, the size of a stamp, an album cover that looked like the group that I told you that was in the club playing in Hard Rock.
Right.
Called The Pulse. That was the name of the group. And I said, geez, that looks like the Pulse album I wrote 40 years ago. So I blow it up, and bingo, that's what it is, the Pulse album. Ned, I flipped. I called the guy that's in France, who owned that record, and I said, excuse me. I said, I'm Carlo Mastrangelo. You got my record? You have? He said, oh, yeah, I got a bunch of them. A bunch of them? What do you mean a bunch of them? He said, well, I sell them. I said, no kidding. He said, you don't mind, do you? He said, I'm not a big company. I'm a little company. But I sell them, you know. I said, no, that's all right. I'm just happy to see it out. I said, I want to seek further advice on it here. He said, well, do you know any place else? He said, well, here's what happened. 4 years ago, he told me 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I was at a convention, and all the vendors in this big armory were selling the Pulse records, turned into CDs. Of course, it was first to 33, Ed. You know that, right?
Right.
Right. So he says, all the vendors had your Pulse albums. Every one of them is selling. I said, no kidding. I said, the name of the record company was Relics. So I said, oh boy, okay. Thanks very much. I was jumping all over the place. I said, holy mackerel, I got to hear a record. I didn't even know it. But they took it. They took it without my permission. And then I went to my computer, and I put in Pulse featuring Carlo Mastrangelo. Ned, 42 countries are selling the record now, right now as I talk to you.
Wow.
Page after page after, I didn't even know it, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Pulse featuring Carlo Mastrangelo, page 1, page 2, and all different stores. I looked at country, Japan, country, Germany, country, Italy, country, on and on and on. 42 countries, I counted them. Wow. The record's been out for 10 years. It must have sold 50 million records.
Wow.
Because a couple of guys said this. Listen and tell me if you haven't heard anything like this in your whole life. It says, Pulse featuring Carlo Mastrangelo. This is their comments. They all gave comments. Pulse featuring Carlo Mastrangelo. Fantastic record. So glad to see it back again on CD. Can you imagine that? They said, so glad there was a hit, a couple of years, it died down, they put it out again. And they were glad to see it again because they knew it was a seller. Can you imagine that, Ned?
I would have been astounded, as much as you were. to have that come out all them years later.
I didn't even know what world this was. What? And it was put out and I didn't even know it. So, it was just amazing. If you ever get a chance, Ned, just put in Pulp Fiction, Carlo Mastrangelo on your computer, and you'll hear some of them. You might like some of them. They're hard. The guitars are wailing, and I'm screaming, you know. But you might like. There's a couple of mellow ones, 2 or 3 mellow ones that you might like. So, right? Will you do it?
Oh, definitely. You know what, though, Carlo? I mean, you know, you're saying that you did the hard rock and all this and that, but it's still hard for me to fathom that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you sang all those great doo-wop songs. You backed up Dion, and you really, you know, have a fabulous voice. And you're telling me hard rock, and I just can't fathom it. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you got to remember now. Before even doo-wop, I was a jazz drummer, not a hard rock drummer. Jazz drummer. You know, like Gene Kruger and Buddy Rich, that thing. That's what I did since I was a kid. 4 years old, I played drums. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Then doo-wop came out. Then 10 years later, I did the hard rock. But that's how many all those years went by of me playing jazz and playing like Sinatra music.
Is jazz like your roots?
Yeah. Right. That when I was 3 and 4 years old, I used to listen to my brother's records. They were jazz records. Ella Fitzgerald, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
Dizzy Gillespie, you heard them, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Charlie Parton, that was my music, and I was only a kid, 3, 4 years old. But when I heard Ella Scat like that, I went crazy. I said, wow, that woman did that with her mouth. It wasn't an organ, a sax, or trumpet. She did that with her heart and her soul inside her. That was her. There was no trumpet. It amazed me. It really amazed me, and then I started doing it myself. And it came pretty easy to me, too, you know. Anyway, the Pulse album must have sold about 50 million records. One of these days I get paid, I hope.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Where's the royalties?
See, this is what I don't understand, Carlo. I mean, here you are telling me that you know, 50 million records have been sold of the Pulse, and you haven't seen a dime.
No, not yet. But what happened was when I called up the company, what they did was to tell me they did it like subdued. They put in the back of the records, one of the Pulse records, but all of them. This is what they put. We were trying to find you. We couldn't really find you. So what we did, we put your money in escrow. When you get a chance, you give us a call, and we'll straighten it out. I called them and nobody answered the phone. Here's the thing. They're not robbing me. They put my money away. And I guess this is part of the thing that I can't talk to you about the records.
Right.
We'll tell you about that next time I speak to you.
Oh.
The reason for that, okay?
That's fine with me, Carlo, but you know, I mean, you were the guy that put it together. You were the guy that wrote the songs, and you haven't seen a dime yet.
No.
This is totally amazing.
Happened, excuse me, Audio Fidelity was the original company that we recorded that album for. They went out of business, so they sold the company to this man called Ryko. He bought the company. This is all, I played Sherlock Holmes, and I got all this information. You know, I found out who did what and everything. So his name was Ryko, R-E-I-C-H-L-E, Ryko. And he bought the 10 or 20,000 records from Audio Fidelity. All their stock that they did for years, he bought it. And what he did was he donated half to the library and the other half, he went through them and kept the ones he liked. One of mine records, I'm sure he did this. He looked at the record and said, Carlo Mastrangelo, hey, that's the guy that was being on the Belmont. He's got a record here. Let's listen to it. And they heard the hard rock. And whether you like it or not, hard rock, Ed, it's really a great hard rock album. You know what I mean?
I'm going to listen to it.
Even if you don't like it, you got to admit that it's good music. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
That's what probably happened. He heard it, and he said, hey, he said, we'll put Carlo Mastrangelo's name in the front of the record, make people know this is one of the Belmonts were in hard rock, which is really weird. You know, just that alone, I'm a doo-wop singer, and I got a hard rock record out. You know what I mean?
Well,
so weird. But put it out, it sold, and that was it. And they did it without me knowing. Found out from this guy in France. If it wasn't for that guy, I probably still wouldn't have known.
I'm at awe with all this stuff. You know, you play the records. I played your music. And here you are, not getting a dime at this point.
Right, so far. But that's why when I saw them behind the rack, okay, I just hope it's not too much longer because, you know.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Another one of those songs that has your name on it. Now, if you go back to, I think it's 1960, Rockin' Rocket by Carlo and Jimmy.
Jimmy. That's Jimmy George, one of the great Bronx guitar players. I wrote that happy tune. And the other side was Rockin' Rocket, fast record, yeah. That was one of the first ones I ever did.
Wow. You know,
we were in one of those Bronx groups I told you about.
Right.
See, he was a guitar player, great guitar player.
Evidently, because I listened to the song, it is really good. There's no doubt about it.
I was just surprised that they even put it out, because I didn't even know they released that record.
Well, I have it.
Huh?
I have it.
Oh, you have it? No kidding. Wow.
Absolutely. You know, and you, along with the Belmonts, you did an a cappella album, correct?
Cigars, cigarettes,
and I think it was Candy, a cappella, and Cigars.
Yeah, right.
And that is a fabulous, fabulous album.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm going to be playing quite a few off of that as well, because your a cappella, I mean, is just phenomenal. I mean, the putting together of the voices is just about unbelievable. I mean, when you guys got together, I mean, how did you put everybody's voices in the right place?
Well, you know who was a master of that? Freddie Milano. I was the idea guy, you know, what did, and bam, 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 or whatever, making sound guy. Freddie was a harmony guy. He could make harmony for 50 singers. Freddie would do all that. That was his job, man. He was excellent. Perfect pitch, great harmony singer.
Boy, I'll tell you.
They were like both falsettos, and they were in the same groove. They're both great harmony people. But I was the guy like doing, you know, figures and riffs and stuff. And we were on Leon St. Louis. That was like our thing, you know.
Unbelievable, Carlo.
It's 9:07.
Yes, it's time for you to go watch the Dodgers, even though I told your daughter that they left Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a sad guy, boy, and then they left Brooklyn, but I still love them. I wouldn't care if they moved to another continent. I still love them.
So you are a real Brooklyn fan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Carlo, I'm going to let you go. Make sure you watch your baseball game. I don't want to. I don't want you to miss one inning.
All right, listen, I enjoyed talking to you.
Oh, I enjoyed talking with you, Carlo. You really, in the short time that we did talk,
We got a lot in.
we got a lot in is right. We certainly did. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us and telling your story. And I think now a lot of people that were tuned in tonight are getting more of an understanding about the music industry. And boy, you really put it out there.
And you got to get those royalties. If not, tell him Uncle Vito's.
Where are you, Ned? What state are you in?
We're in Pennsylvania, in the Allentown area,
Okay.
not far from Bandstand.
I was just going to say, are you anywhere near the clock that, yeah. Okay, and maybe another time we'll do this again.
I would love to do this again. I would love
A lot
to.
of stories, a lot of things.
I know that you have a lot of things to say yet.
Okay.
All right, Carlo, take care. God bless. Stay healthy. And
God bless.
and we wish the best to you. I got one more question for you.
Okay.
I've had this asked by many people this last week since I've been promoting you're going to be on the show. Are you any relation to Johnny Maestro?
No. That's about the millionth time that question was asked.
And you are not related.
When we first found out his name was the same and mine is the same, we waited till we worked together just so we could sit down in the dressing room and talk. Do you have any relatives in Italy? Do you have any relatives here? We were going back and forth trying to find out how if we were related. No. We came up empty.
Wow.
Oh, but we were good friends. Good friends. Ed.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, Carlo. The game's about ready to start.
I enjoyed myself. This was fun, you know. Bring back those memories is nice.
I'll bet it's a lot of fun for us as well here to talk about those memories.
Oh, great. Okay.
All right, Carlo, thank you very much.
I'll be talking to you soon, Ned. Thank you.
All right, thank you, my friend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you know a little bit about the music industry there.
Why? The music industry was always rough.
Poor guy, you know?
Hope he gets those royalties.
I really do hope he gets those royalties. And in the beginning, you know, like he said, he was the sound guy. The